Welcome to Ring the Damn Bell / Get Your Bell Rung as of July 1st. I am KG Landry, and with me tonight is the only decent human being on this show, which is Bob Cook.
Yeah, right.
I take personal offense to this.
Well,
Beneath me, as he is always beneath me, is the wrestling enthusiast, Mark, and the best damn referee in the PB wrestling business, George Strong. What's going on, guys?
You know, if I wanted this kind of shit, I'd talk to my wife.
Yeah, well, you know what? Your wife doesn't want to talk to you, hence why you're doing this.
Yeah, no shit, right?
If I could be arrested for my thoughts, I wouldn't get out for 47,000 years.
Yeah, you made both.
Double life sentence.
Quick, some good news for the podcast. On June, let me make sure the date is right. I'm right. On June, God damn it.
Come on, we're on a schedule here.
Nah, fuck off.
Yeah, I got to order pizza in an hour.
Trust me, Raw wasn't that great. June 17th, the one and only Dustin Rhodes will be on this podcast.
Oh, the guy with the best punch in wrestling. Awesome.
Oh, snap.
Now, the guy with the second the best punch in wrestling. And I'll tell him this on the podcast, too.
Well, that's true. Jerry Lawler, he's always been number one.
Monday Night Raw. Yeah, it was last night. We'll get into it. God,
it was so good. It was so good. It was so fantastic. It was so spectacular. I've never been less interested in the world of professional wrestling than I am right now on this date, whatever the hell the day is. I don't even know. I'm so flustered.
You know what? I look, I honestly can't argue with that because I just wasn't excited.
I know I wasn't excited
at all.
I have no interest in watching Worlds Collide. I have no interest in watching whatever the name of the show is, Money in the Bank. I have no interest.
Yeah.
You know, if you spent any time on the internet in the last day or two, WWE is just taking a shit ton of heat for R-Truth.
Well, I don't care about that.
Their shows, I mean, they're just taking hits on everything.
Yeah,
that's because wrestling fans don't understand. Between all the hanky-panky that goes on between the sheets, it's still a business. And R-Truth, as funny as he could be, for every 2 minutes he's on the air every other week or month, he's not worth the salary after almost 20 years, 53 years old. Hit the bricks, baby. And that goes for Carlito and anybody else in his position.
You know, apparently they did offer him a contract, but it was substantially less.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, look, I agree. I mean, you know, it's the guy's 54 years old. And I'm not saying that he's washed up because he's not. He's great entertainment backstage, and he has been. I love Ron Killens. I love R-Truth, right? But the fact of the matter is that the amount of money they're probably paying this guy just to do a back
skit,
moment, if you will, is something they could probably paying, two young talents. So I get it. I don't like it because I love R-Truth, but I get it, and I agree with Bob. No, I'm not kissing his ass, Mark. It's business. It really is. So yeah. I mean, you know what? Life goes on, and we all know that A-Truth, his career is not over with. We know damn well in 2 weeks he's showing up on AEW. Let's be honest.
Yeah, no, I agree and disagree. I get it's a business, but it doesn't feel right, and I don't have to agree with anything on that sense. It's like it's a business, yeah, but you cut one of the most entertaining guys. Yes, he can still wrestle, and no, they didn't use him for that, but I mean, if he's a locker room leader, even if he wasn't on TV, it's a lot of stuff that goes with that. And WWE is pretty much cutting the old weight, and that's the best way to look at it. I just hope R-Truth ends up back in ends up back in TNA, to be honest with you.
So,
well, if what you said is true, and he was offered a contract and said, no, I'd rather not make $500,000 a year as opposed to $750,000. I'd rather be unemployed. It's his choice. They offered him something, he didn't want to take it. They didn't completely diss him and throw him out the door. They said, look, this is what you're worth to us now. Accept it or don't. And if you don't, that's on you, not us. Boom. Fans can kiss ass on being dissatisfied. They're dissatisfied no matter how good it is. And right now it's not good, but they're still dissatisfied.
Right. And what I've read, what the things I came across according to Fightful Select, I'm not sure where Mark got his news from about
the internet
contract deal, but I've also read that what's happening is that TKO, including Triple H, wants to cut the comedy out, specifically out of WWE.
Well, that was more apparent the less they used R-Truth, though. But I mean, they still had Carlito for comedy bits and stuff like that, and they still used Jimmy Uso for comedy bits. Yeah, I know. Jimmy Uso is still there, and he had pretty comical parts during the Bloodline and all of that good stuff. But I mean, that's, you know, it is what it is. I mean,
well, if they want to get rid of comedy, they should fire those Viking Warrior guys. They should fire this guy and that girl, and they should not have Sami Zayn going out there dancing like a freaking idiot. That's a bunch of crap. They want to get rid of comedy. They don't have much comedy on the show, anyways. That's why it's just like a sporadic thing.
As far as
they really cut it down to skits.
As far as I'm concerned, when it comes to the Viking Raiders or Warriors, look, they don't need to cut comedy to have an excuse to cut those guys. They could just do it because they're not politics, as far as I'm concerned.
But they're still a goof tag team. They just got rid of one of them's wives, right? Sarah Logan.
Yeah.
Big deal. The fact she was even there is like, why?
Yep. And you guys really believe that there's not a chance that we can see R-Truth show up at AEW? You don't think of AEW?
Well, AEW is just stupid. Tony Khan will burn money for just to say, "Hey, look what we got."
That was my point.
I just don't.
If hold on, George. If what Mark said is true, right, and that they offered
who said it now?
Contract,
who said it? Oh, it's not true. You know
that guy.
He said Dustin Rhodes had the best punch in wrestling. So
yeah, that's true.
He's known for fibbing.
If what he read is true, and that Ron Killings is not continuing with WWE because they offered him a contract, but he didn't like the amount of money, so he walked away from it. You don't think if Tony Khan opens that pocketbook, which you know goddamn well he probably will, you don't think R-Truth will go there then if it's about money?
Oh, sure, unless he's an idiot.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's on him. That's on him.
There is so many potential storylines with R-Truth going to AEW. Oh my God. It'd be just gold.
But this is the thing, Mark. I disagree. And I'll tell you why. If Tony Khan brought R-Truth to AEW to be anything other than R-Truth, and I'm not even talking about the name, I'm talking about his goofiness, his silliness, the fans will reject him because they want the R-Truth of WWE, not the R-Truth that Tony Khan is going to probably want to do with creating his character, giving him a new character.
On what KG's saying, it's like if R-Truth goes to AEW, he'll do the comedy stuff, but eventually he's going to have to wrestle. And he can still go, but we didn't get caught up in him wrestling.
Right.
Like, seriously.
How many people? AEW has who they got? Bobby Lashley, old. Shelton Benjamin, old. Christian, old. Edge, old. Jericho, old. We don't need more old guys. There's a lot of young talent out there that we keep bitching about that aren't getting a push. Give them a push and see what they can do. Who cares about R-Truth? He made his choice and he took it and ran away. I don't care. I don't care about a guy who's on the show for 3 minutes if he makes me laugh out loud or not. The last time R-Truth really entertained me when he lit a cigarette on TV. Remember that? That was hilarious.
Yeah.
He main evented a pay-per-view. He fought for the
and he main evented Saturday night's main event, one of the worst Saturday night's main events in years. He main evented or was on the show, main evented, whatever. Was on the show prominently. Horrible.
Hold on.
Not his fault, but it was
I knew Mark was coming with this.
Right.
To be fair, almost every main event, Saturday night main event that they've portrayed in the last year has sucked. To be fair.
You ever watch the show Letterkenny?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
Too foul.
I love that show.
I do too. No more seasons are coming though. I'm pissed.
Yeah.
Well, they
But
got what, 11? How many do you want? They got 11,
I
but
need
they're only
more.
like 6 episodes.
He needs 6 more.
Oh.
like
Well,
I
the good thing
said,
is I've got the
I
memory
am-
retention of Dead Chipmunks. So I can rewatch the whole series. And
Oh, I do that too. I've
I
been
don't
watching
know
the
that.
Righteous Gemstones lately. Freaking hilarious.
Oh God, yeah. No, it was great. Anyways,
Yeah. So, like I said, I'm going to miss R-Truth, but everybody's time comes, and his time obviously came. So, this is where we're at now.
17 years. Think about that. WWE 17 years. Very few people have
Total-
that option. Bye.
Yeah, a total of 19
Cry
years.
me a river, Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, again, he had a total of 19 years with WWE.
Wow, that long? I thought it was 17.
It was 17, but
but
he
he had a
also
couple
had a
years
3 year.
before that.
Yeah, he had a 3-year stint, left, came back.
Yeah, I was about to say he left and came back.
Yeah.
I do remember now that you say that.
Yeah, he was K Quick before, and then he came back as R-Truth.
And while all these people are sitting around looking at their paycheck going, oh, geez, Walmart didn't count that last hour I worked. I can't believe I'm not going to be able to make my car payment this week. If R-Truth isn't set for life, it's his fault. So don't feel sorry for R-Truth.
And he is set for life. Besides wrestling, he has his musical career that he does.
Really?
Short. Yeah, it may not. He may not be what a lot of the famous music people were doing, but he has made some money off of some.
He's consistently making music. Yeah.
Yep. So,
Well, you know what? AI. You can make all kinds of music with AI that's better than any regular human. It's like the most beautiful women on earth, the most gorgeous creations of all time throughout history are made with AI. Suck on that, humans.
let's get to the show.
Do we have to?
Are we sure?
Yes.
All right, guys, I'm out. Y'all go over the show. No, I'm just kidding.
Call my wife and see what she's doing. It's more exciting. What? You're watching a Hallmark movie? Tell me all about it. Oh, that's amazing.
All right, so we start out with CM Punk to the ring. Sami Zayn comes up to the ring. We're talking about Money in the Bank, and Sammy's swearing that CM Punk's got to win it because if Seth wins it, it's all going to be doomsday.
Yeah.
All right, well, then we're on to
exciting stuff.
So Jude has to say, he says, talking about R-Truth, he'll make fantastic money if he hits the indies. We'll see if it's gonna
serious?
happen.
Who said that? Who said that?
So, Jude Cutchinbro.
Jude, besides
What'd
the
he
stupid
say?
last name. Besides the stupid
Yeah.
last name, that's an absolutely ridiculous opinion.
go.
There you go, Jude.
What'd he say? Hold on, repeat that. What'd he say?
Referring to R-Truth, he thinks that if R-Truth makes he'll make fantastic money if he hits the indie scenes.
Maybe up
Nobody
north.
makes fantastic money except maybe Matt Cardona, and it's only because he sells everything he has when he's there. Unbelievable. Freaking
Cody-
Marks.
Cody Rhodes didn't do too bad on the indie scenes.
Anomalies. Is that what they call it? Is that the word?
I mean,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can see R-Truth going to, what is it, CML, or what's the name of that?
MLW.
No,
God.
where what is his name? The guy that pretended like he was, that pretended he really is the stoner. He was with
Matt Riddle, Riddle.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, that's MLW.
Yeah, MLW. Yeah, I mean, maybe if you go see MLW, but I mean, we
Like
are all
that company's got a
assuming-
lot of money.
We are all assuming, and I want to get away from R-Truth after this. We are all assuming that R-Truth wants to be out there still wrestling. We are assuming this. The only thing we've heard from R-Truth is he's been let go from WWE, blah, 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 right? He never said, I'll see you out there. He didn't say, I want to wrestle. Nothing. We're all assuming this shit. Maybe the man just wants to fucking retire.
Right. I'm 53 years old. Of all the things in life I want to do now is run around and wrestle in some high school gym with a bunch of rugrats and idiot fans in front of 500 people when there should be 1,000 because the gym's bigger than he thought it would be.
Right. So as far as the opening segment with CM Punk and with Sami Zayn, and I keep on saying this, I'm fucking sorry. I am tired of Sami Zayn. I don't
You said the word.
Sami
You said a
Zayn.
bad word. You said Sami Zayn.
I don't want to see him on any program right now. he's just
Well, the guy from Duck Dynasty died. He could go in there. Grow the beard a little longer, fit right in.
Yeah, I'm bored with Sami Zayn.
I've never seen the appeal on Sami Zayn. Never.
I've never seen the appeal on Duck Dynasty, but that's just me.
Oh, I love Duck Dynasty. It's fucking
I
right.
agree.
Some episodes
Of course
were
you
funny.
do. Of course you do.
Well, you like it, George, because it's a Louisiana product.
I could see you sitting around the campfire with all those bearded guys going,
Right.
you know, that Dustin Rhodes got a hell of a punch. You guys know that? Pass me another beer.
So bitter.
it?
You're so
Was
bitter
it
on an
Wes?
opinion.
No.
So bitter on an opinion. Damn, dude. Now, I did say, to be fair, I've never seen your punch. All right?
Well,
I did
I don't blame him.
I
Hey,
did
I'm not
look
talking
up
about
the
my
video.
punch.
I did look up the
There's
video.
plenty-
Yeah, you saw some good punches. And then I got chastised by my son because I used his account to look it up. He says, it's not for wrestling. Oh, all right.
Oh, well.
So
I don't
Mark
blame
watched
him.
10 minutes of Dustin Rhodes punching and said, that's the best punch I've ever seen in wrestling.
Dude, I've seen
Never
Dustin
compared
Rhodes
it
throw
to
punches
anybody
for
else.
20 years. 20 years. I've seen Dustin throw punches. All right.
And that's the only
Bob,
person you
6
watch
minutes.
George, you got to remember, he's a mark, okay?
His license
I
plate
forgot.
proves it. His license plate proves it. License.
I'm expecting a
license,
termination or
driver's
reduction
license.
of pay on this one.
Driver's license.
Yeah.
Oh, my
Give him the
God.
R-Truth. Give him the R-Truth treatment.
That's what I'm saying. I'm expecting either a reduction of pay or termination after this tonight.
I'm not gonna
KG's got to go
terminate
talk
you.
to The Rock. He's got to talk to The Rock first before he cuts you.
Right, right.
Oh.
Well, yeah. Nah, fuck that. I'm gonna go talk to The Rock. I'm gonna get a piece of my pie, damn it.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
my
the
God.
final boss in this podcast.
At least you show up.
Right.
Yeah, right. All right. So next we
Oh.
go to Liv, Ivy, and Stephanie
Ooh.
Vaquera match. You know what? This is a decent match. I'm not gonna sit there and say different.
It
I
bored
liked
me.
it. Huh?
It bored me.
Really? Oh, I
got
think the
pretty
world of
bored with
Stephanie.
that.
I think the world of Stephanie. I think she's probably the
I-
best product they've
Yeah.
hired.
Yeah, I mean, I like her too. I was just bored with this specific match.
The match started off sloppy, kind of. I mean, it picked up. The crowd was behind Stephanie. They didn't have to build her up too much.
No.
People, you know,
The
for
crowd.
once, the fans were paying attention to who was out there. So
No, that's not true. The fan was behind our truth as they were chanting, "We want truth."
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
Well,
No,
the truth is they were in a building that sat 10 or 20,000. They only had 10,000 in it. So something's going down, and it's not
Yep.
the attendance going up.
Yeah, Tony
Yes,
Khan
but-
apparently sold $4 million or 4 million shares of stock to TKO recently.
Well, technically it was Nick Khan, but you can, you know.
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. You're
One of
right.
those
I'm sorry.
we get. They're both con artists, so we get it.
Right.
Leave the news to me, man.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm talking to Mark
You didn't bring it up.
because Tony
Yeah,
Khan didn't sell for me.
I was corrected.
Oh,
You
my
fuckers,
God.
I'm going on strike. All right.
That'd be
next
funny.
we
You
go-
need to get a sign.
Right. I'm gonna pick at this shit.
He gets on the podcast and still with the
Wait,
sign.
I'm just
I'm
gonna
gonna
sit here and be quiet with my sign.
In about
Above
3
all
hours,
else,
in about 3
Above-
hours, you'll see Mark across the street from my house or in the front of my house with a picket sign.
above all else, I'm going to be able to sleep good tonight, knowing that R-Truth's going to be able to make huge money on the indies. Because I was worried about that.
All right. So next we go to a Rusev vignette, kind of slamming Sheamus, and I just lost interest in this. He's been back for what, 3 months, and we've seen him 6 times, and
Boring.
yep, yeah, even yawning would be an insult.
Well, what makes it boring is they're putting him in this feud now with Sheamus. I don't care about that.
That's what made it boring. Not
Yeah,
the
I
same
don't-
vignette he's been doing.
Well, yes, partially that, but it's also with Sheamus as well because I've never. The only time I liked Sheamus was when they first brought him into WWE, and he was just this brutal savage. and kick the shit out of John Cena and everybody else. And I understand it's been years ago. Your character obviously grows or whatnot, but I just think he's boring now.
Grows more boring.
I agree with that, but I look at this. The only thing he got hot again at the wrong time. It's like they kept hyping the whole never winning the Intercontinental title with Gunther, and they were obviously pushing Gunther to beat Honky Tonk Man's record. So kind of shit on Sheamus as far as like, oh well, maybe next year, kid. It hadn't been the same since he come back from injury. So
yeah,
no, actually, he's kind of put on a little weight, and he's got that dad bod working for him.
I wouldn't tell him that.
Fuck no, I wouldn't.
yeah, I was about to say. Let's say you tell him that.
That's why I'm a keyboard warrior, man. I'm safety
You
on my
gotta do
keyboard.
like you gotta have to do like Dusty Rhodes did when he fired Rick Rude. And, do it in a broom closet, so if Rick gets mad or if Sheamus gets mad and beats you up, no one will see it. You know that's a true story. Dusty fired Rick Rude in a broom closet in case Rick got mad and beat him up. No one saw him getting his ass kicked by Rick Rude.
oh man,
saving face.
Yes.
Right.
But again, guys like Sheamus have been there forever. They've got so many people in the wings. Sheamus ain't like over like a gangbuster. They're not selling out arenas with Sheamus on top. So give the spot to somebody else younger with potential. Push that Austin Theory kid or something. I don't know. Do something.
Wait, who's that?
I'm not sure. Vince McMahon's buddy.
Yeah. That's what Austin Theory's saying. Who am I?
But he's probably not saying that, actually. He's
So-
probably saying, look at this paycheck I get for
George,
doing almost nothing
I was
every
going
week.
to say he's counting
going
that
back
direct
to what you guys
deposit.
were talking about with Rusev doing the same gimmick that he was doing in AEW. This is my thing with that, though. They didn't. If they would have used him correctly at AEW with that gimmick, he could have went far. I don't have a problem with them trying this in WWE because with the right person, imagine the Rusev's gimmick right now.
What is his gimmick? Just a big guy that does nothing.
He is like the chosen one, God's chosen one. It's a little dark. I'm saying if you have him cut these promos against a dark Karrion Kross, and you have a dark Karrion Kross cutting promos against Rusev as well, that could get entertaining. Those two in the ring together can get entertaining. So I think what makes it boring right now is the fact that they're not using it correctly, and they're using it.
Yeah, he's not. I see what you're saying. Like he's not in the actual storyline. He's just picking on people, and that's it. There's no like real shooting back at him.
Right.
I get that.
But they're not going to put bad guy against bad guy either, though.
I don't
But
know. Go ahead.
You're absolutely right, though. I mean, Karrion Kross and Rusev would be awesome together, I think.
And why wouldn't they put bad guy against bad guy? That's all we see: good guy against good guy, and bad guy against bad guy now. I mean,
Well, I think Karrion Kross's girlfriend, wife, whatever she is, and Rusev's ex-wife would be good together too, but not in the context of wrestling. There I go again.
I don't know. They could be wrestling. Just
I don't
naked.
care about that. Okay.
Just
Oh,
naked.
okay.
No, not that wrestling.
Not. I want to see him really wrestle.
he wants to see the real scissoring.
Yes.
Oh, we're gonna go off the rails tonight, aren't we?
Yeah. Not that
Yeah,
AEW
it's going.
stuff.
It's going.
Whatever that
it's
stuff
going there,
is.
Mark.
Whatever those.
Buckle
Oh
your
my
seatbelt.
God.
The seeds planted.
We're gonna put a advisory warning on our podcast.
Gotta blame Triple H. He's the one producing these shows that are shit.
Yeah, but someone's blowing smoke up his ass saying it was a great show.
Really? Who did that?
I don't know, but somebody is.
Oh.
Because he doesn't learn from his bad shows.
When you look at all the stuff that's going on, the Netflix ratings are down, the USA Network ratings are down. Well, that's USA and SmackDown, but all the ratings are down. The attendance is way down. They're going to be at Rump Arena next week. You know how much Rump Arena still holds? Like 22,000 people. They got like 10,000 tickets out. Come on.
You know what? They aren't advertising that they're sellout crowds anymore.
Well, that don't matter if they're not advertising. It's still not.
No,
That's
but
not good.
Michael
Right.
Cole, every
I know
week
they used
for-
to say that. Yeah, I knew they used to say, another sold out crowd. They'd make it that 17th consecutive.
Yep.
Mr. Herb Simmons from SICW says, "Good afternoon, gentlemen. Thank you, Mr. Herb, for watching."
But that's the rest of business. Ebbs and flows, ups and downs, peaks and valleys.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I
you're
started
right.
thinking of Liv Morgan there with that comment, peaks and valleys.
Peaks and valleys. She wasn't wearing the same red.
She was still there, though. She was still there, though.
We're going to be
Tom doesn't
finding
care
out.
what she wears.
We're going to be finding out who has the.
It's not what she wears; it's
say-so,
what she doesn't wear.
the last say so on these shows, because WWE's their new reality show is going to be hitting Netflix pretty soon here.
We're going to pull the curtain away.
Yep. Yep. So
Yep,
we'll
they're
see.
going to pull the shower curtain back.
Well, they're only going to show you what they want you to see, though.
True.
It's
True.
it's going to be Kate. Most of it's going to be kayfabe.
I started watching that movie Queen of the Ring the other night, the new one about Mildred Burke. In the first scene, she's sitting at ringside, and the son of one of the wrestlers in the ring basically exposed the business to her right there. Oh, heels and baby faces, and they know who's going to win. That didn't happen. Gotta hate.
So hold on, I got to reply. So Jude, you say that AEW that they can still do more attendance than anything AEW could possibly do. Well, considering that WWE's had a 50+ year head start on AEW, the fact that right now they're starting to lose attendance, the fact that the ratings are down on USA, the fact that the viewerships are down on Netflix, and also you throw in the fact that TKO is charging what they are charging for live shows. You may be saying the opposite before long, that AEW is putting more butts in seats than WWE is able to do, and that's not a hit on WWE, because I love WWE. I love professional wrestling as a whole, but I think the cracks are now starting to show within WWE and TKO. I think this is what we're starting to see, and we're also maybe starting to see what Triple H is all about. Because this is the thing. It's easy to be on that bandwagon of, we love Triple H, we love the Triple H era, when things are great, right? And everything was great. It was all fresh. It was all new. I want to see you fans talking about how great Triple H is when things start to get a little rough for him. We both know we all know what's going to happen. They're going to all start screaming, and they've already started to scream, Triple H era sucks now. So, I mean, we're going to see what's going to happen.
Yep, the old fickle wrestling fan. It's just like sports teams. You get a season ticket holder sell out, and then as soon as they start losing, you start seeing empty seats.
Yep. But like I said, I do believe that what TKO was wanting to charge for those seats is going to start to play a factor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Probably already is, or they would have.
has.
If they have a 20,000 seat arena with 10,000 in it, there's a good chance that's the reason there's not 20,000.
When they're money hungry to go back to Vegas and they don't come to the Superdome for the WrestleMania next year, then that's a telling sign too. It's like, that's where we made the most money. Let's go back. Let's not take a chance on any other city next year.
Right. Yep. And I think that may come to bite them in the ass. We'll see.
I unfortunately, I hope it does, because I was really looking forward to seeing it and all the business it would have brought to the city. But they want to go back to Vegas, have at it with the $80,000 front row seat.
Wow.
Per night.
For one night.
But you get to keep the chair. Come on.
Yeah, absolutely. You get a cool piece of cardboard that says you were there, and a chair that you sat your ass in for 8 hours. 10 plus.
Look, before long, what's the name of this? Hold on. Yeah, that's like Micro Wrestling Federation. Before long, Micro Wrestling Federation is going to be putting more asses in seats than both AEW and WWE.
I may try and work for them. They might need a ref. I'd just be taller than the wrestlers.
That's a bold statement. That's like saying Dustin Rhodes has the best punch in wrestling and claim you're not delusional. And saying you're not delusional. That's crazy.
Just not going to live this down, am I? Just not going to live this down.
Hey, I love
20
Dustin. Like I said, I had his first match ever. He's got a great punch. Just the way you presented it as the great. And then I went and watched the match you were talking about, and I was like, okay.
It's an opinion. You don't have to like it.
Oh, I like the opinion. I just don't agree with it.
You just don't agree with the match.
Oh man.
God damn, the wife is fucking easier on me than you guys. Fuck. Jesus Christ. All right, so next we go to War Raiders versus Finn and JD McDonough.
Ooh. The bobblehead doll. The JD McDonough, the bobblehead doll. Is that the bobblehead doll?
Yeah, pretty much.
Got the gigantic head.
He's about the size of a bobblehead doll.
Oh. He looks like, it's like you ever been to Hogan's Beach in Clearwater or Hogan's Hangout? He's got that giant bobblehead there. Not giant.
Yeah, that's just, again, another match that was...
Another tag match with the War Raiders that wasn't that great, but New Day was good on commentary. JD hit a little callback. He bumped on the desk, and everybody started referencing him hitting his lungs and head on the desk. It was a cool moment, but then it was like, that was probably the best part.
Yeah, no, this match is kind of lackluster. I felt
It's one of those matches where they looked and they went, well, the War Raiders went back for 4 times the servings at catering. Make them go out there and work again. They make them useful. Make up for what they ate.
Yeah.
All right, so next we go to Lycaria to the ring, and then Becky to the ring, and
terrible. This was absolutely fucking terrible. Valkyria, it's like she was trying so badly to sell us on what she was wanting to promote as far as what Becky Lynch really is and what she could do, and it was terrible. And Becky Lynch was even terrible last night.
What's up with those shoes, those gigantic shoes?
Because she's so little.
And then she was punching Becky Lynch with those vicious punches to her own forearm. Spectacular. Got me all excited to watch the real fight on anything but WWE. There's lingerie cage fighting, which is pretty interesting.
And look, and I'll be a little honest with you guys. I was judging last night a little bit more harsh than what I normally, but it's because it's a fucking to-go home show. Mm-hmm. By this point, I should be excited about Money in the Bank. Should be excited. But I'm not. I'm thinking, if this is this bad, what's going to happen on Money in the Bank? It's almost like they're catching, they decided they want to do, for the past few go-home shows now, they are about at the same level as AEW when it comes to them not making you excited about the pay-per-view or the PLE. PLEs can be good, it's can be fine, but the build-up to it just sucks.
To give you an idea of my excitement, one of the things in life that I despise more than anything is training people to be wrestlers. I absolutely hate it. I dread it, but I have to do it every Sunday. But this week it's on Saturday. So let me explain that again. I hate it. I despise it. If a Grand Canyon was here, I'd rather jump in it than do it. But I'm more excited about doing that this Saturday than watching any of those shows. There you go.
I'm sure I get where he's coming from.
What?
So are you
Seriously?
excited to
I thought it was pretty well explained.
Are you excited to train these people Saturday night, Bob?
No, but I'm more excited to do that than watch the show. I hate doing that.
Look, I think Money in the Bank is going to be fine. I think it'll be a decent PLE. It's the build up to it. I think
Yeah,
it's terrible.
no, I agree. I totally agree. I see it. I'm just like, I'm looking at the card. I'm like, yeah, cool main event, but I'm probably looking forward to the 2 ladder matches, and that's it. Just because they're going to do crazy spots, and that's it.
If this is where they're going to be in a year, when they're going to start charging or so-called charging for pay-per-views again, they're going to bottom out. Their pay-per-views are going to be the lowest pay-per-views on record.
Yeah.
Well, I won't be watching them if you got to pay the old school price. Ain't no way I'm watching it. It's not that important to me.
We're gonna wish it was the old school price. Again, they're predicting $80 for your WrestleMania.
Well, you know what I'm saying, yeah.
And then $65 for your regular pay-per-views.
Yeah, you got like AEW on multiple options for $50, and then WWE will come back to the market and be like $70, $80, and it's just like nobody's gonna watch any pay-per-views
every month. It's not gonna happen.
No.
Right. And then people are complaining that it was Peacock's fault for doing it. No, WWE did it to themselves when they started their network and said, subscribe, you get every pay-per-view for the
Well, that was a great idea, though.
Yeah,
right.
I thought that was a great idea. The problem was selling it to Peacock because they had just started putting more content on there. It's worth the fuck having. And then all of a sudden they go to Peacock and it's like we're starting over again. Now they got Netflix and we don't know what's going to happen to Peacock.
I mean, look,
it's all stupid.
I think the only saving grace they'll have is if you've already got Netflix, you pay an additional $15 or whatever. That might be their only saving grace.
I'm hoping that TKO was be smart enough that this was actually kind of a test of what's the feedback going to be by Triple H saying what he said about pay-per-views possibly coming back, and hopefully they're going to listen to the squabble by the fans screaming that they're not going to pay this shit, because if they decide to move forward with it anyway, it may not end up too
They're
well.
going to spend more money on production than they're going to get from revenues.
But then again, at the same time, man, WWE's this monster, and people may pay for this shit. I don't know how, but
you know what? It's the equivalent. It's the equivalent of the damn vending machine at work. So the guy went up on prices, and you know what we're still doing? I'm still buying that Snickers. I'm still getting that honey bun. I'm still getting that Pop-Tart. The same machine, and the prices go up. We're still emptying the machine every so often. So it's like
you're talking a 3% increase versus
Mark,
a 45% increase.
But good luck to people like you and I. Of course, hold on, George. To people like you and I who are smokers, okay? Cigarettes, when they were 99 cents, when it gets over $1, we're quitting. Went to $1.08, still smoking. When it gets to $5, we're quitting. $10 now, we're still smoking. Fuck, my cigarettes cost $15. I mean,
yeah, paying $10 a month for Peacock versus paying $80 a month for a pay-per-view.
Well, you're going to have people that'll pay, obviously, but you're not going to have as many as they think.
Right.
Like if they're bragging about Peacock numbers and say one pay-per-view got 1 million views or whatever it is, they're not going to get anywhere close to that on
no
standard pay-per-view.
Nope, they won't. And I can guarantee you, I won't pay it. I might sponge off Kevin, but I'm not going to pay it.
That's the way to do it. That's what friends are for.
Yeah, but at that price, there's going to be no more.
Where are we?
Well, Mark, at that price, you're more than welcome to come over.
That was brief. Rhea came in. I didn't catch what Rhea said.
Hey, Mark, can you hear me?
No.
Because he's walking around.
What Rhea say?
What I'm saying is, to your point, you are welcome to come to the house, but at that cost, I ain't cooking for your fucking ass. That's for sure.
But back before they switched to the Peacock or the WWE Network, we used to use the pay-per-view. We always have
my wife.
People come over and they'd all chip in for the pay-per-view.
Right.
You guys there? Yeah, we're here. You would think that a friend would offer to chip in and pay for the pay-per-view, especially since you're cooking. But these days,
too busy watching Dustin Rhodes.
Oh my God.
That's like saying the Big Show has the greatest headbutt of all time.
No,
That's an
that's
insult
like
to Haku.
Yeah, I was about to say
Well,
that's
Haku didn't headbutt his hand.
no,
He didn't
that's
like the Big Show headbutt his forearm. Oh,
that's like
that's
saying the Big
believable.
Show has the best punch since his finisher move
Oh my
at some
God.
point was
That was
that
horrible
punch.
too.
All right. So next we go to.
Herman Munster show.
Oh, I'm sorry. We go to Lyra to the ring, calling out Becky. Then that's the event. That was the. I skipped ahead. Sorry. All right. So then next we go to a Penta vignette about Money in the Bank. He spoke more English in this vignette than I think he did all of AEW.
I
Every
don't
vignette
ever.
he's speaking English.
I was
in
riveted.
WWE.
I don't think I've even heard him speaking.
I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. I was like, hurry up, I gotta go to the bathroom.
Look, that's something else. I used to be excited to watch the Lucha Brothers on AEW, or even if they're in singles action. I don't know. They're not the same on WWE, and I don't know. They've lost something.
No, they're just scaled down. I think it's the lack of use. Like that, they had a little Ray Phoenix showcase on SmackDown when he tag teamed against Jacob and Cobb or whatever. But that was a flash compared to what they've had him do on SmackDown. Penta, I think they're doing that whole less is more thing because the crowd wants to see him so bad. Now they're like, not this week. Here's a vignette. And it does take away from the wrestlers. I mean, even if they did that on AEW, it would take away from the wrestlers, but I get it.
I think part of it, though, is because they're on separate shows. That takes away part of it, because you're not going to see Ray run out to help Penta or vice versa. The fact that they're on different shows, it kind of takes away from them as a whole.
Oh, but you would think Ray Phoenix was the redheaded stepchild too, because
He's taking the pin.
Right. I always thought Ray was better than Penta.
I wish they were both on the same show. That way you only have to fast forward one segment.
Damn, I'll take the love you guys give me over that any day of the week. Holy fuck. Holy shit. That was fuck cold. Good, but cold. All right. Let's see. Jay and Sammy to the ring. Yeah. I fast forward 5 minutes to them to get to the ring.
Jeez.
You're just jealous because you can't dance like Sammy, Mark.
I took 4 years to dance. I certainly can. No, I can't.
Well, I hope you dance better than that.
Yeah, I was about to say. I hope.
You know what? Whenever I've said I've seen Mark dance better than that. Every time I say dinner's ready, he does his dinner dance.
The old gimme dance. Gimme.
Next time you cook a steak, he's gonna do the Sami Zayn dance. You're gonna be like, nope, no steak. Dude. You're not getting this.
I might do that. Oh,
I am not cooking no goddamn steak for no goddamn.
I'll learn that dance for steak.
Yeah, but Bob, you would get the steak. Is my point. Mark wouldn't get it either.
Well, there you go.
What's that song my mom taught me? Nobody loves me. Everybody hates me. I think I'm going to eat some worms.
And die. You've got to port and die.
I never learned that part.
Didn't Mick Foley do that?
Maybe.
He tried.
When he was doing that story about he was mankind. I ate the worm.
That was actually a good impression of mankind. That was actually pretty decent.
Yeah,
all right.
I'm excited to see Mick Foley in August in Vegas to see.
Great guy.
Yep. Well,
one of the guys that's too nice for the wrestling business.
Yeah, I'm excited to see him get roasted.
Oh God, Mick will have some good comebacks, though, I'm sure. And Mick gets his turn to roast people back too. That's how a roast works.
Hopefully.
We'll see.
Let me message Brian. Let me message Brian Blair to see if that doesn't take place now.
All right. So then we go to Paul Heyman coming out, Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker come out for their match against Jay and Sammy. Ultimately, Seth comes out, and then CM Punk comes out,
You
And
skipped over the part. You skipped over the part about with Paul Heyman walking up to who do you walk to backstage?
AJ
Oh,
Styles.
To AJ Styles.
I did, didn't I?
Yep.
My bad.
Mark,
you might
you
as
need
well
to watch
elaborate
the
on it.
show.
I did, but I shut it off last night I got out about an hour into it, and then I watched the other 2 hours
I
today.
actually wasn't home for the first hour, so I got you. But I watched a little bit of it. So Paul was basically just trying to convince AJ that he
Styles.
didn't need to. Yeah, he didn't need to win Money in the Bank. He needs to focus on Dominic and the Intercontinental title, and that was the basis of
Right.
his point. He was like, don't take that because then you have to fight Seth and blah blah blah. And AJ just gave him a hard time and slapped him as hard as he could on the shoulder and walked off.
Yeah, but
it was pretty funny at that part, but
I didn't want to pass it up. We got fives and fives of fans watching the podcast. So,
Fives
Dollar
of fives.
Stacks. Dollar Stacks. She says, hello.
Oh, I know her.
Darla, thank you so much for watching this. I feel special that you're watching this podcast. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you for what you did for me this afternoon as well. Finding out some information for me. Appreciate that.
All right, so next we go to Finn and Liv arguing about Roxanne, and then Finn and Dom. You can see the seeds of dissension coming off this one.
If they could break them up already. Jesus Christ.
The only surprise is who's going to turn on who.
yeah, I was about to say the explosion itself is actually more entertaining. Like who's going to turn and what's going to happen when they finally do it. Whenever they finally do it.
Yeah.
I just cannot see Finn Balor being the babyface out of this.
I think everybody's behind Dom, like you said, but it's still interesting to see what happens because the crowd cheers Liv too. So it's like it's just gonna split up and be a bunch of people you like, regardless if they're heels or faces. Other than JD, because JD and Raquel don't have much traction.
That's not normally how a split up goes, though. I mean, usually the very first feud is between the people that broke up before they move on to
I'd rather see them just break up and just be done with it. I don't want to see them. I like seeing like against tradition, like they break up and not fight each other. Let's just go our separate ways. Maybe with Triple H's ability to do long term, it comes back later in like the next Rumble or something. But have them break up and that be it. Like leave it hanging. Like they're not gonna have a match.
Speaking of which, Carlito won the WWC World Title in Puerto Rico to bring more gold to the Judgment Day, and then was released.
Yeah, I saw that.
Not released. Contract not renewed. Totally different.
Right.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, so he won't be back on TV to celebrate with his new belt.
Right. Well, they wouldn't show it anyhow.
Yeah.
Let's see. Kairi Sane versus Raquel. This should have been a squash match. And I hear crickets.
Exciting stuff.
Yeah, like I said.
Wasn't a great match. They're setting up a tag team championship match. It's more than obvious.
Right. Exactly. The show was.
I like Kairi Sane. I mean, that wasn't a good match.
Watching that match, all I could think was get it over with so I can watch the Righteous Gemstones.
You haven't finished the season yet?
I'm on the last season right now.
You haven't finished it yet?
No, I just started the last season.
Yeah.
Some people have lives. I have to sleep all day and then get up and take a nap and stuff.
Well,
okay, fair enough. Well, I'm not here to judge you. I was just asking a question.
When someone makes the comment, I'm just now starting the last season.
No, he says I'm on the last season.
Well, yeah, I'm on the last season. Well, just started on. I don't know.
Next show, like next Tuesday, let's just roast Mark.
Baby Billy needs it.
Mark, I have a question.
Baby Billy needs his own show.
Are you
yes,
sure
he does.
that Dustin?
Yes, he does.
Are you sure that Dustin Rhodes isn't using you to practice his punches on?
You know what? I'm gonna come on that interview.
Oh no!
No, God!
I'm gonna come on that interview with Dustin.
Are you? Who's gonna let you up?
Huh?
Who's gonna let you up?
I'll come on the interview. Calm down. All right. No, I'm just kidding.
So Mark can
right.
ask the question to both of y'all.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Who throws a better punch, you or Bob Cook?
Well, you want to be honest, Dustin will say I did.
Yeah, he did.
Watch.
He will. Without a doubt, he'll say, and without a doubt, I'll say Bob Cook. I can just hear it now. All right. So next we go to Sammy and Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross trying to turn him to the dark side, telling Sammy, "You a bad guy."
You
Sammy
a bad
saying,
guy.
"I'm not." And Karrion
The
Kross says,
Marcus.
"Well, maybe I'm right, or maybe I'm wrong, but maybe I'm right."
I like this segment.
Anything with Karrion Kross, I like it. He's such a misuse of talent.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what they're waiting on to pull the trigger with Cross, but yeah, I see Sammy turning. And you know what would be funny is if he turned on somebody to win the belt and brought it back to Seth's group. Just a hunch. I know you're tired of Sammy thing, Kevin, but I'm just saying.
I want him off of TV for a few months.
Off my TV. I get it.
Be gone.
All right, so next we go to Gunther and Jay. And Gunther was actually kind of nice to Jay at first. Gave him a lot of props. Gave him his flowers. And then put him back into reality.
Yeet.
I could have gone without that.
Yeah, the yeet thing is way over. Like, I'm done with that.
What does it even mean? Is it just something they started? Yeet. Is this
It's
no
an
real
internet
meaning behind
term,
it?
and it's an internet term. There was no meaning other than maybe to throw something or throw somebody. And also tidbit, they had like a lot of legal issues when they first started using it. Cause
Yeah, I remember hearing that.
there's a couple of indie wrestlers that were already using yeet. One of them is a good friend of mine named Ray Fury. He's pretty big in the Gulf Coast and from New York, but I think they said there's another wrestler as well, but they took action. WWE ceased it for a minute, and they didn't use the yeet church for like a week and a half before they got all that straightened out. So the term was pretty much sold from indie wrestlers, and it got popular, and here we have it. Jay's got hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of merchandise that says yeet. And I've been in the business 7 years, and I've been seeing yeet t-shirts from my friends like since I've been there, and he's been wrestling since before I came along. So
wrestling fans aren't pathetic, are they?
I'm sure they paid a lot of money to get that rights to use the term yeet.
Not if it was from indie wrestlers, like they had it copyrighted or something, trademark.
I mean, they pretty much had it on their gear. I don't know about all the trademarks and everything, but they definitely took action. So I think that's why WWE stopped. They're like, wait a minute, so I'm sure they trademarked it so they could use it.
WWE paid $19.99, and they got the word.
Right.
They overpaid. Well, maybe not considering the merchandise.
They overpaid, but they're making the money off of it.
And they gave him a Coke too.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. So then we finally end up with AJ, Punk, and Grande Americano in a 3-way for Money in the Bank.
Yeah, I was a little surprised at the winner. I just knew that of course it was going to be CM Punk, but nope. And I'm not complaining.
Right.
I like the fact that he went with Chad Gable.
Three people I wouldn't have been mad whoever got the Money in the Bank because it's going to add to the match. Even if
it's not Chad Gable, it's Grande Americano.
Yes. Yeah.
You also think of the ones that are more expendable there. Is that the word expendable?
Expendable.
Chad Gable, he's entertaining. Yeah, he's good. But if he gets hurt, who cares? But AJ and them are actually big money makers and draws, or especially CM Punk. You don't want to put him in that kind of match if you don't have to. Not like those matches are safe.
Yeah, no shit.
Right.
Yeah. Punk would break something anyhow.
Yeah, unlike the Royal Rumble, I didn't see CM Punk getting the Money in the Bank. Like, I thought Punk was going to win the Rumble, but I did not see him being in Money in the Bank at all.
Yep. And then, of course, it closed out with them getting their ass kicked. Them being CM Punk, Sami Zayn, and Uso.
At least it was original.
Yeah, we haven't seen that since 1999 with NWO.
It's only been done forever.
Yeah, the tag team match planted the seeds for the outside interference, and they went forward with it. And that's been done. How many? I don't know.
But that's something else, and I think this is why I'm starting to get burnt out on WWE product. Is it seems like it's been forever now that every Raw has been the exact same thing. Every SmackDown has been the exact same thing, and it's starting to just I feel like I'm starting to get burnt out on just seeing the same guys since before WrestleMania in the same matches.
Yep.
Yeah, fighting each other. Yeah.
It's WCW 1998.
Oh,
I wouldn't go that far. That's pretty bad.
Yeah, well,
you
I don't know.
got a good
WCW
memory because I don't remember any of that. But yeah,
WCW did have a span on Nitro where they had the same people fighting each other.
Yeah.
And I ain't talking Booker T versus Crispin Wall, but like they
Right.
were notorious for even doing it with pay-per-views. It's like, oh, you
Crispin
saw
Wall.
Hogan this thing last night? We're gonna do it on Monday night, the rematch. You know what I'm saying? They did that a lot too. So I mean, I don't
I'm
know
talking
about just
about
98,
NWO
but yeah.
coming out and kicking everybody's ass and
Oh,
you know, panning
Yeah,
in.
that ended the show for like weeks at a time. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I get you. But they did the repetitive booking too.
Yeah.
Not just the NWO. They did all of that. Like it's
Now, hold on. That
never
Best
gonna
of
be.
7 was actually pretty decent with Benoit and Booker
No, I
T.
didn't. I said that wasn't included in that. That was probably one of the best
Oh.
ones. I like the last one they did with WWE did with Andrade and Carmelo. But like outside of stuff like that that actually means something or they make it mean something, when you keep having, how many times did Drew McIntyre fight Sami Zayn when Sami was a heel, and they kept having Sami run from him, and then fast forward to the Triple H era, they do it again, but it actually was better. But now it's like that's all they do. Like if we could have Sami Zayn and Drew McIntyre on the same show, they'd probably be fighting each other again.
Yeah, like
it is getting super repetitive.
I mean, on SmackDown, it's the same tag teams every week. It is DIY. It is
Motor City Machine Guns.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Street Profits.
We're not getting a mix of the
only new thing added.
Yeah, we're getting like one team fight everybody every so often instead of like mixing it up, or if we're actually chasing the tag team titles and we're gonna have everybody fighting each other all the time. Let's mix it up. You got like 5 to 6 teams. You got the Wyatt Six just came back. Pick a team, Joe Gacy and Dexter Loomis, somebody to throw in there. Right now they're hooked on them jumping everybody and saying they want the tag titles.
Yeah, I mean, goddamn, you have what, 2 teams just within the Wyatt?
Yeah, you do.
So.
And that's the loop we're in right now. It's the summertime blues of wrestling for me, because I remember like SmackDown and Raw sometimes used to have the same storylines with different wrestlers. Like they had like Booker T fighting somebody on SmackDown and Shelton Benjamin fighting a big man on Monday Night Raw at the same time. And the matches went almost the exact same. And then I saw somebody else, they did the same thing with like a Orton and Cena type of thing. It's like Undertaker and Kane doing the same thing on different shows. I'm like, how's nobody noticed this? But hey, we're buying the product.
Mark, what would you give grade-wise for your grade and overall product last night?
My initial reaction was a C-, but I'll go with C.
George?
I was actually leaning toward a C too, because I mean, when there was wrestling, it was okay, but nothing else really jumped out at me.
I'll go C. Yeah, C. I don't know. C.
Yeah,
C for Cooker. That's what I mean.
I was going to go.
There we go. I'll take that.
I was going to go for C- because I just, to me at this point, I think it's just lazy booking. It doesn't seem like they're putting any effort into the booking. Again, we're seeing the same matches week after week after week. I mean,
now hold on now. These guys are riding a crest of sellout crowds for over a year plus. All right, now they're hitting a valley. They're still riding that crest. They got to recoup and regroup a little bit.
Dude, I don't give a shit. Like you are pushing yourself to be this company, and you have so many great talent, and this isn't the C- isn't a reflection on the talent. Again, I said lazy booking, because you have so many more people that you could use, and yet you're using the same individuals over and over again.
Yeah, because it's what brought them to the dance.
Well, sometimes you need to learn to find a new partner.
Not just Peter, Matt.
Yeah, it's very cookie cutter because I mean, with the first time Vince left, everybody was excited to see what Triple H wanted to do, and then he came back and it kind of started, teetering off a little bit, but not much. And then when Vince was going for good, it picked up, and there was a tremendous wave of momentum, and it was like going and going, and now it's like come to this point where it's like we're not excited about John Cena's heel title run. And they'll probably blow it away overseas again, like they always do, because those fans don't get enough American wrestling. And other than that, when they come back to the States, they're going to lose it all again.
Yeah, but European wrestling is so much more brutal than American wrestling.
Yeah, but that's beside the point. There are still fans all over the world. It's on Netflix being watched by everybody now. Like they're selling out, and the crowd's out chanting the show in Europe. So it's like, why not?
No, easily.
Like I'm sure they've taken away Saudi Arabia dates because of the crowds in France and Germany and all of that good stuff. So it's like they're looking forward to going over there, but we're not going to compete with that because we're not trying to spend that money.
I mean, look,
and they're not giving us the money's worth.
But I think Saudi Arabia pays them a hell of a lot more.
Hold on, Mark. Hold on, Bob. Am I being too harsh? Am I being too? Wake up. Am I being too harsh on the product on Raw by giving them a C-? I mean, if I expect you too much.
No. I don't know. I don't know what your mind thinks. I said, I've just lost interest. It's not, it's just me. I don't know.
No,
I don't even want to watch. I don't care if I watch the shows anymore.
But this is the thing, Bob. You know what? If it was just you, okay, you're burnt out.
Well,
but it's the problem. The problem is it's not just you. Mark seems like he feels that way. George is somewhat there. I am there. Again, this had nothing to do with the talent. I will never badmouth a talent because I am not a talent to be able to badmouth a talent. Those guys are, they're good. It's again, for me, it's lazy booking. They just keep on throwing out the same shit over and over again to see how long they can use it before it tanks out instead of being ahead of that. To me, that is better booking.
It's definitely just, again, I'm not excited to watch the shows at all anymore. Not just them. I fast forward through most of AEW stuff unless it's Megan Boehner, Penelope Ford, or those people, I just fast forward. I'm over this pro wrestling crap.
Cameron Harley or Harley Cameron?
Yes. Anna Jay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like those broken nose.
I don't even care about Tiffany Stratton anymore. She don't look as good as she used to. I said it. I don't know what happened. She hit the wall long before she should have. She's only 27 years old or something? I
don't even think she's that old.
Yeah,
okay,
I think she's younger than that.
Okay, 26. I don't know, but
it's
26, 25.
I can tell you what happened to Tiffany Stratton. How many fucking times could you see a match between her and Nia fucking Jax?
Well, it ain't even who she wrestles. She just don't look as good to me. I'm superficial.
I think her match quality went down after the Charlotte thing too, like in a little bit before that. So she didn't really put up. And I loved watching her because it looked like she was going somewhere. And that's not saying she's not, but it's just like her match quality ain't exactly there.
Oh, come on! You were looking for the cakes.
I think she's eating too much bread. She's eating too much bread nowadays.
That's why Church is watching, because she's got cakes.
How many times?
I wouldn't be surprised if they take the belt off her with Naomi. I'm just saying.
How many times have I said that she got put in that position way too quick?
Got to give it to Jade Cargill. I love Jade Cargill.
I think they will, but I think they're going to go through. It's going to go through Naomi with the new gimmick because a lot of people like the new gimmick, and I mean she's been there, so they take it off of her with Jade. But I think Naomi's going to win Money in the Bank and get Tiffany Stratton's belt before Jade gets it.
Yeah, because I agree. And not to mention, there's more money in chasing the babyface, chasing the title. And they've already invested what they did with Naomi. And I mean, I personally think that this whole thing with the storyline between Naomi and Jade kind of fell flat in its ass. To be honest, I think they waited too long to really get that going with her coming back. But at this point, I think that maybe, just maybe, if Naomi ends up with the title, that they could get more interest back into the Jade Naomi thing with Jade chasing that title.
Oh, there's a lot more interest in Jade and Naomi than Jade and what the hell's her
Tiffany.
name? Yeah, Tiffany. I think there's a lot more vested interest.
Yeah, and I think the only wild card is if they just hot shot the damn Money in the Bank to Stephanie McCurr, which I don't see them doing. I think they want to build her up first, even though they pretty much built her up as much as they can.
Although,
before
guys,
she got to the main roster.
I'll be honest, I wouldn't mind seeing that match. Alexa Bliss against Tiffany Stratton. I still think that would end up being a pretty.
I think that's a money match too. Like that's definitely a money match.
Yep. But anyway, that is the review of Monday Night Raw. Man, tomorrow night I have one hell of a interview with Attila Khan. This guy was trained by Harley Race and Haku. He literally looks like if Abdullah the Butcher and Bruiser Brody, if they would have had a kid together, it would be this guy. He's been in the business 15, 20 years. Great guy, man. I'm excited to interview him. If you guys like stories about violets or a fucking
you got a hairball? Someone's got a hairball.
The fuck? Use that mute button, damn it.
Someone had a hairball.
I think Mark just died on the show.
Well, you know what Roddy Piper said? If you're going to die, kid, do it in a ring. It's good for business.
Anyway, that's going to happen tomorrow night at 6 p.m. You guys subscribe to the channel, regardless of how bad these weekly shows are. My interviews are pretty damn good. So.
Yeah, way to promote the rest of us.
All right, so I'm looking straight at you, man.
That's right. I'll have my sign next week.
Anyway, guys, George,
I have a job and picking in your house tomorrow.
Do you have anything to promote?
You know what? I got something to promote, and I do have something to say. I didn't get Jay Lethal's information, but he is such a great dude.
Damn it, I froze. I
will have I'll have a second chance to meet up with him, hopefully, because there's a good chance he's going to come back and do something with us with LWA. So that was a great weekend meeting Jay Lethal. It's my officially my 7th year in the wrestling business, so I'm going to try and catch 5 as best as I can. And then Friday I'll be in Panama City for Bizarro Wrestling for Rock and Wrestle Bike Night at Harley Davidson in Panama City Beach. I don't know how weather's going to be, but barring any impending doom, that should happen. Yep. Other than that, that's all I got.
Cooker, you have anything?
Yeah, I'll be making an appearance later tonight, playing my Evil Knievel game until probably 4:30 in the morning at least.
Nice to be up, actually.
So come by and say hi.
Mark, we know you don't have anything going on. Find me, guys, on my Facebook account, KG Landry. You can find the list of people that I'm interviewing on there. Again, guys, don't forget July 1st, name change. You get your bell rung. That's the only thing new about the podcast. It will be the name. Otherwise, we'll have the same old people on this podcast. So, but having George on is always great. And of course, having the Hall of Famer or the future Hall of Famer be inducted either next week or the week after. And then, of course, we always have to have that guy, and that's Mark.
I'll have my cool ring when I get it. I'll show it. I'll go, look, it's not real, but it's sort of real.
I gotta wear it, man. Look, I gotta give my podcast some type of legitimacy. I mean, look at what I have to work with. So, Mark, what do you got to say?
I'm on strike.
Oh, by the way, changing the name to that get your bell rung. I'm suing for concussions.
Talk to Mark. He's my attorney.
Yeah.
No.
So you're saying I'm going to come up short like Billy Jack.
Pretty much.
The show's You're gonna sue KG. Mark's gonna be the lawyer, and the show's gonna shut down altogether. Win-win for everybody, right?
Look, you can't squeeze blood out of a turnip. Is all I'm saying. Anyway, if my sellout co-host won't say it, ring the damn bell, guys. We will see you back on tomorrow for that podcast with until God. You guys have a good one.